Hello, everyone. It's Diane, the massage mentor, and I am here with Wanita.
Yay!
We've been trying to get together for a little while, so this is super duper exciting. And one of the things I just want to say first is thank you for your many years of hard work. You are definitely on the forefront of our industry. You've paved the way for people like me, and I'm just so thankful. I'm sure it hasn't always been an easy journey, and I'm sure there was times where you wanted to say, peace out. And I'm gonna go drink a margarita on the beach, and I'll be done with it. But I'm glad that you have not, and like I said, I appreciate all your hard work.
Well, thanks, Diane, and hello from the land of enchantment, New Mexico. It's a beautiful day here.
Woo!
Really excited to be here, and thank you for inviting me. And I also want to thank Maria Natera and David
Yeah.
Marin, because I think they mentioned me to you,
Yep.
and here we are. And yes, we have tried this. I was thinking today that 3 is a charm, except I think this is 4. So I think 4 is a done deal.
And I
If
think
3
too,
is a charm, 4 is a done.
I feel like good things come to those who wait. And for some reason, too, I don't know what it is. Like the timing is always perfect. So maybe, just maybe, when this gets online a little bit later today,
Yes.
the right person will hear something that we had to say at the right time, and it could really be helpful to them.
Yes,
We were waiting for you.
and and everything to work out.
Yeah.
Yes, I totally believe that timing is always right. When I worked as a midwife, we had a mantra, and the mantra had to do with time, that we are in harmony with time, and all the way. Sometimes we would have to drive an hour, hour and a half to get to the home birth area, and believe me, at 3 in the morning, those mantras were important.
Yeah.
we never missed a birth, so that was good.
Well, let's get into that a little bit, because I think
Okay.
we'll skip over to that point. You were a midwife for a while, and I actually too. I've gotten the opportunity. I've been to 5 childbirths, so as a massage therapist slash doula, and it's one of those things. Like, I mean, when you're involved and you're in it, there's no other experience like seeing that little baby enter planet Earth.
Yeah.
It's so magnificent and
Yeah.
so cool. And I'm finding, I don't know, I'm finding a lot of us have delved in that world. A lot of massage therapists have also done midwifery stuff. So tell us a little bit about how you kind of draw from that, because I know I do, and kind of how you mix it all together and your feelings on it.
Oh, great. Yes, I love talking about that part of my life, which I miss a lot now, but the memories are wonderful. Um, I actually got into it through my interest in stress management a long time ago. I was working as a massage therapist, and I took a certification course in hypnosis and was teaching stress management classes for adult education in Florida. And so I was very much into that. And I had clients that were type A personalities. And so I was blending in all of that. Well, I had a friend that I met who was doing some midwifery illegally in Florida. Home birthing was illegal at the time. Oh, what a criminal. Anyway. And so, we were talking about massage therapy and midwifery. And one of the things that I strongly felt was that all of the childbirth classes that had to do with Lamaze and so forth, and the breathing techniques, all of that was very important. But for me, I felt like relaxation was the key for a successful childbirth without medication, which was what I was really following at the time. I was very much into alternatives and also women's issues. There were some great books out at the time about women's medicine and how we had been fed, a bill of goods with respect to birthing, that we had to be knocked out or medicated completely. And so I was very much into that. And she encouraged me to for their group of midwives to become a certified home birth educator so I could do the classes. So that's what I did. And I went to 2 different courses and then started teaching the classes. And then I would go to some of the prenatals, and there were some of the clients that the midwives felt really needed massage. So since I was just beginning in this, I really gave everybody a very good deal. And I had maybe 4 or 5 clients that were regular clients for pregnancy massage, which nobody was teaching at the time. But luckily, you know, I drew on my nursing so much in my career. So I knew the physiology of birth. I knew what the changes were. And for me, it was very easy to consider the contraindications, you know, and things that I shouldn't be doing and I should be watching out for. So, that was perfect. Go ahead.
And I think too, that's one of the things I just want to point out, because I think a lot of people newer to massage don't realize we didn't used to have pregnancy massage training.
Oh, exactly.
I mean, I learned how to do pregnancy massage by massaging pregnant women.
That's it.
You know?
Yes, that's it. And later, you know, people would, when I was talking, I wanted to do a seminar on pregnancy massage, but people would call and ask me if I was certified. And I'm like, well, I was a midwife and you know, but I wasn't certified. So people didn't come to my seminars, you know. Anyway, that's another story. But the experience then of being able to go to the births of the women that I had worked with, it made such a difference because I was the relaxation coach. Their husband was there, but I was a relaxation coach, and we didn't do the standard Lamaze breathing. And because I had touched them before, and we also played the same music that we played in the sessions. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, and they had that music at home, and they would practice their breathing and the relaxation at home. So in the birth, relaxation music, Wanita was there to touch them, and you know, the births went really smoothly. Later, when I became a midwife, I realized how much fear and anxiety just blocks birth from happening, you know. So relaxation is the key there. And I think it's a natural. Massage therapists, I mean, who better to help people relax than massage therapists?
I'm excited we're having this conversation. I remember, this just throws me back to, I was with a woman as her doula. I didn't call myself a doula. I just said I was a massage therapist.
Yeah, that word wasn't even around. So, okay.
A doula would help people's minds at ease, because then I at least had a name. But I remember she was sitting at the end of her bed, and she was sitting Indian style at 8 centimeters, breathing like a champ. We were just breathing. We were in this group. And down the hallway, you just heard this woman screaming at the top of her lungs, you know? And in that moment, I just really thought about how, like you're saying, and you're putting it in words for me, and I'm so thankful we're having this conversation. It really is about relaxing the person at the birth, because, you know, doctors are in and out, nurses are in and out. People have no idea what to expect. And there's no way to really tell them what to expect, because it's so different for everyone. You know, it really is about relaxing.
It really is. And another thing has to do with perception. I don't know, have you ever come across Spiritual Midwifery by Ina May Gaskin?
I haven't.
You have? Oh my gosh. Oh, I can't wait for you to get this book, because it will change your life even more. So Ina May, she was in a big commune, and she did all of the birthing there. And then she wrote this book. It was all natural birthing, no medication. And one of the things that I learned from her was the perception of pain. And that was the other thing that I was able to explain to my clientele, has had to do with labor pains, because Ina May used to call them labor rushes. And it was the rush, the buildup, and then the breathing with it, and then the letting go of the rush. And just the change in the word made all the difference, you know. And people laughed at me that knew me. They said, yeah, it's painful. You're not going to call it, so, you know. But just to get an individual to understand that this is a kind of pain that you don't have to be afraid of, that it's not suggesting injury or illness. it's the kind of sensation that is bringing forth life. And you know, the more you say that to a woman, the more they have that confidence, so that when they start to feel these sensations that they've never felt before, they're much more accepting of it, you know. And yeah, so
I think no, this is great. I'm sorry, we're getting off the massage track a little
I
bit, but
know,
it's
I
all in
know.
the same. It's still in the same. But that's another thing too. Like I've noticed that in new moms in the beginning of labor, they're like, ah, you know, those first little subtle hints. I'm like, no, that's the practice.
Yeah,
Like your body is practicing,
right.
and these pains are going to help the baby come. So you kind of have to work with them, not against them. You know,
That's right.
like
That's right.
it's so cool. And like you said too, it really does. I'm going to check out that book. And I think too, I think some of that's the parallel with pain in general.
Yes.
It's how you look at it. And two, I've been thinking about this one a lot, Juanita. Like we have the science and then we have the energetics
Yes.
of
Right.
body work. And the
Yes.
science has its thing and the energetics has its thing. But when
Right.
push comes to shove, we just need to chill the hell out.
It, that is profound. That's it. And the thing is that massage therapists, because of the work we do, and because we're always promoting rhythm and breath
Rhythm, I love it.
and a feel good kind of situation, that makes us the premier therapists in order to present, literally present what relaxation is, because we live it, we feel it. Every time we give a massage, we are practicing the art of relaxation ourselves, because that's how we convey it. And so, you know, how many times have you put your hands on somebody and you're taking a deep breath and you're doing a little grounding, and people go, oh, you know, just if we just did that, that's enough, you know. And it wasn't like that when I first started out. I mean, it took me a year or two to be able to harness that dynamic of just with my touch to convey a particular way of being, right? And
Yes.
that's the energetics of it, that is not evidence-based, you know, but every massage therapist who's been around for a while knows that that's true, you know. And we can do it with our pets, and you can do it with a newborn baby
Oh,
that's
yes.
gassy, you know, you can do it across the miles. Now I'm getting metaphysical, but anyway, you know what I mean?
It
Yeah.
is. It's really harnessing it and just letting go of everything and just
Yes.
being there and then
Yes.
letting the person on the table dictate things a little bit. And
Right.
it's like such a cool dance that I think sometimes gets lost in the intellectual and then the energetic, and it
Yeah.
just is. And there's I don't know if there's any way to fully explain it. And that brings me to
Yes.
the fact that, my God, you were in massage school in 1978.
Yeah. I know. I'm getting
That is
older.
so cool. Like I love that story, and like I can't imagine how much different it is now, and
Yeah.
how like that's the thing even for me, like 25 years, like watching the changes and how things have changed.
Yes.
I think for a lot of good, in a lot of good ways, it made it more digestible for a lot of people.
Yes.
But in some ways, it's just so different. And I just again want to thank you
Oh, you're welcome.
for seriously hanging in there and sitting here with me today and having this conversation. So how does it feel to kind of look back, kind of again veering off a little bit from the subject matter, but like it's a big difference between 1978 and 2020, and how did you do it?
You know, I have to say, I think that being the kind of person I was before, when I went into massage, and then I started the school, and David and I were working, but then I had children, and children change things, and that my focus was then much more about making a living and supporting my family. And that was a huge motivation for me. I might have changed things along the way. I might have gone back to work as a nurse in a hospital, because some of the times I love the profession. Running my business wasn't my favorite thing. Um, and I kept thinking, if I could just be an employee again, everything would be fine. But
Man,
you,
I wasn't around.
Yes, exactly. Now that's different. That's what's different. See, at the time there was no one that was really hiring, you know,
Mhm.
massage therapists, and so
Right.
everybody was in business for themselves. But I made that happen. You know, I conquered the whole business aspect. It wasn't my favorite thing to do, um, but I did that. But I tell you, the biggest changes that I have seen is that it's evidenced by cycles, I guess I'm going to say. It's, you know, a slinky, right? You can imagine a slinky and how there's a circular aspect, but it's in a spiral kind of thing. So when you go around in a cycle, you're never really at where you were before because you're going up, right?
Yeah.
You're going down. I think our profession has had a full cycle since I've been in it. It's been, oh, I always have to count 20, it's been 42 years now. And I know. So that's a couple of, isn't a generation 20 years? It's a couple of generations already. Okay. And so I've seen our profession come up out of some really negative stuff
Right.
in the 90s. That was so profound. We were moving towards the clinical aspect. We had the national certification exam. More and more states had licensing. People were not, women, oh, I will say people in general, were not being harassed as much by people who wanted sexual massage. That was like going away, and we were at the top of the rung. But without talking about how all of this happened, we somehow went down the slinky for a while. We went into some chaos, and the tests changed, and all of a sudden there was the focus away from clinical massage, you know, and it was time, obviously, for spa massage to come up and massage envy to happen. And so all of that happened. But what my intention was kind of went away. All right. Um, and then the problem with prostitution came back. Who would know? That just, you know, but I do believe that one of the upsides of the virus is that we've had a lot of time for massage therapists to talk online about these issues, and people that have been in the field for maybe just 5 years, they don't know the history of what we've been through, and they're talking about, you know, wanting to have a more professional clinical aspect, and we need that now, and maybe we should have a second tier for licensing. So people are talking about all of that again. They're looking at board certification again as an option. So I think that, so it's a good thing. So the cycles going down, going up, like in the slinky, I'm just going to keep intending that we're going to continue to go up, because I believe that massage therapy is needed everywhere. It's needed in spas. It's needed in, you know, individual clinics. It's needed in hospitals and rehab hospitals, in physical therapy clinics and OT clinics. It's needed everywhere. Everyone needs massage. And so I'm all for the profession expanding. And for those people that are drawn to the clinical aspect, you know, I'm hoping that we will be incorporated and they'll get paid what they should be getting paid, you know,
Mhm.
not some low amount that demeans our self-image,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah, it's been interesting to watch everything for sure, and it's I think like you said too. The for me the COVID thing is a weird twisted twist of fate, because I really
Yeah.
think it's getting everybody together, getting everybody on track, and then
Yes.
also one of the things that actually one of my therapists said in a talk was too, it's giving us a voice where it's like, no, you can't come in if you're sick.
Yes.
No, it's given us a little
Right.
more ability to speak up for ourselves. And
I,
one of
I think that's very true. Very true.
and I think one of the things too that I'm realizing about you that I like and that I didn't know until I'm putting, having this blessed opportunity to talk to you too, is you have like a super duper clinical side where I was on one of your webinars and I was like, oh, like just brilliant, you know, using your nurse background and like spelling it all out. But then you also seem to have a balance like with your history of just being a human being and being able to kind of balance those two aspects, which I think is an art. So tell us a little bit about what you're doing with Health Matters. I think too, one of the things you did now I got to make sure I get it, is a piece on the history of massage as
Right.
well, right? So
Yeah.
you're like all in. So tell us a little bit about what you're up to now and how we can find you and all the great things you're doing.
Well, thanks. I have to say, I am semi-retired now. Um, it's true. I'm semi-retired. Um, Living remotely in the country, which is really what I need to do. Um, with Health Matters was the name of the business that David and I started in Sarasota, Florida, back in, I guess it was 1978 or 79.
Oh my
And
God.
so I know.
I love
So
it.
yeah, well, we've always been business partners. We were married for a while, and now David is my husband instead of my husband. Don't you like that? I like that. So, but we started that, and then when we kind of um, split ways for a while. He continued on with Health Matters, but I shared the logo with him. The logo that we had, we both loved it so much that was a logo for my school, but he took the name. Anyway, when my school closed in 2010, I started working with Health Matters seminars again. And in my school, always focused in the second semester on medical massage therapy. And David and I were always just parallel. We were just going in the same directions, even though he was working with athletes and going to Olympic Games. I had my school, but we were growing and teaching and learning. Even when we weren't talking about it, we were still on the same track. Um, when I joined the seminars, the first thing that I did was to look through the manuals, and I edited them and added a lot of material that I had been teaching in the school. The second semester was 3.5, 4 months. And so a lot of the material that David was teaching in the continuing ed program, it was the same, but I just shifted and changed. So, and that is something that I continue to do, edit
Yes.
different aspects. I also started teaching the seminars in different places, and then David and I joined and taught the seminars together for a while before they became online. Since the program has been online, it's a 72-hour online program. We have all of the material and lots more videos and lots more webinars on the website now for people who are just wanting the online information of the medical massage program. If they would like to go with the certification, then they come to our 4-day intensive, and we watch them do the body work and evaluate them. And I was helping with that for a while. At this point, I'm not. I may in the future, I'm not sure, but we have some individuals that are training to be teaching assistants, and maybe teaching the seminars in the future as David and I retire. So that's kind of what's happening. I love doing the webinars, and always love teaching. So that's at this point, that's primarily what I'm doing, and planting native plants in my yard and
So you've
trying to get
really
them to grow.
You've done all aspects of massage. Just real quick, just give us, when did you open your school and then you closed it in 2010? So you had a whole school cooking and everything. You're just, I mean, I hope that someone has acknowledged, I'm sure they have. And if not, I want to just say like, holy, oh my goodness,
Oh,
because it's, I have a small massage business here. I usually house anywhere from 10 to 13 therapists, and it is a lot of work. So,
yes.
and I know how hard it is to have a school. So
Oh,
just
yes.
a little glimmer of that so that everyone
Okay.
understands just all the wisdom sitting with me.
Oh, gosh, thanks. Good. You've just given me such good feelings. Okay. Uh, so yeah, 1987, I was in Ruidoso, New Mexico, and David and I had a practice, and I had a dream one night that we were going to start a massage school. And it was one of those dreams that was not a wacky kind of dream. I felt like it was a prophetic dream. It was something when I woke up, I couldn't get it out of my mind. And so I went to the phone and I called, found out who dealt with schools in New Mexico, and found out it was the Commission on Higher Education. There was no licensing in New Mexico at the time. And so I asked for an application packet. They sent it to me, but told me that that the committee that approves schools only meets twice a year, and the committee was meeting in 3 weeks. So
No, I got goosebumps.
yeah, so I got the application about 4 or 5 days later, and I sat down and I created the curriculum of the school in about 4 days. And a lot of that, David and I had gone to a lot of college bookstores, because at the time there were no good textbooks for massage therapy at all. So I didn't have anything, a template at all, except for the school that we went to, which was a good school, but we wanted to add much more. So I drew from those textbooks. That they were physical therapy textbooks and OT textbooks. I had my nursing textbooks. And also my nursing education was excellent.
Right.
And it was very holistic. They didn't use that term at the time, but it was. And so I knew I wanted to incorporate that. And the ethics that I got from my nursing program, and the TLC and everything that I learned that I felt like needed to be incorporated into massage. So I did that, and it was approved. And we started the school about a month and a half later. And with 17 students from southern New Mexico. It was
That's actually amazing. 17
was.
students.
It was, and all of them, almost all of them, except maybe 4, were from out of town, and we made it a weekend program so people could come, because everybody was working, and we just made it and people slept on the floor in our house, and that was where the school was. And we lived next door to the senior citizen center that had a great big room, and we rented that on Saturday and Sunday afternoons because it was closed, and it had the massage school at the senior citizen center. So that's how it started. And I continued on. I felt very strongly about massage therapy growing too fast, so I only had 1 class per year. And we started off with, I think it was a 300-hour, 80-hour program. And the most hours I taught was 750 in Las Cruces at one point in time. And then closed the school in 2010 for lots of crazy reasons, which I don't even want to get into. But I thought it would be my what would sustain me in retirement, but it didn't turn out that way. But that's really okay. As we look back, we see the perfection of how things happen, even though when we're going through it, I was complaining and upset, and, but it worked out good. It worked out just the way it was supposed to. So 23 years of teaching massage therapy and always incorporating medical massage into it. That was where we came from because of the clinical aspect. And my first 2 massages that I ever got, one was when I was 13 and the other was when I was like 22. Both of them, the first one I was injured. Well, first one I was injured. The second one, I was, my kidneys were shutting down because of terrible dehydration from a hike in the desert that went bad. And in both of those situations, after the session, I felt so much better. And the second time, I thought I was facing dialysis, and a massage did what had to happen so that my kidneys were functioning again. And the nurse, I was an RN at the time, and the nurse part of me thought, this needs to be everywhere. Why doesn't anybody do this in the hospital when people come in and they're having problems with this and with that? This is like a miracle. And that was when I didn't know what a strong intention that was, but as soon as I went into massage therapy, the focus was always to incorporate it in the most medical aspects, because it definitely belongs there, as well as it belongs in a wellness arena or in a spa or in an athletic setting. You know, it's required everywhere. So, and
This
birthing, of
was so
course, and
awesome.
birthing. Let's not leave out birthing. It needs to be there.
This was I hope everyone watching really enjoys. This is amazing, and it's been such an honor to finally get a chance to sit with you. And again, I just want to thank you for all your hard work. I'm going to
Thank
post
you.
information where people can check you out. And is there anything that you want to leave us with before we end our time?
Well, I would just say that, you know, we are in a very stressful time right now. And I think if there's anything I would leave with you all, is to focus on what is true. I think I have so many friends that are depressed and frustrated from so many different angles, because it's almost as if we're experiencing a war on truth. And so and myself included, you know, even going through the material with the virus, trying to figure out what's true and reading clinical reports, and this person's a doctor and this person's a nurse, but they're saying this and oh my goodness. So this is my suggestion to everyone. Try it and see if it helps. On a daily basis, I focus on what I really know to be true. Today, it is that I woke up. I decided to have some coffee today. That was true. The sun was shining. I went outside. There was a rabbit on my porch. My dog chased it. That was true. It's true that we're sitting here talking today. There's some things that are undisputably true. And I take comfort in that every single day. And I ask that truth come to me and that I know it to be true when I hear it. But meanwhile, I'm not going to stress anymore over conspiracy or anything else, because it's not healthy. It is not healthy for us. And I put my feet on the ground. I think that's important. And nature, oh, nature. She is the great truth that all of us share. We all share the air. We all share the water. We share the food. We share the light. And that is a great coming together. And that's the other thing I focus on, because in days of division, we must find a common ground. And if there is any common ground, and this is pun intended, common ground, get it? You know, grounding in the earth, she is it. And so I just want to leave you with that.
And nature is not just a background. It's our
That's right. Yes. Oh, I love that. Nature is not just the background. Yeah, so true.
So everyone, I hope you enjoyed. Wanita, thank you so much.
Thank
You'll
you.
hang tight. I'm going to stop our session, but I'd like to catch up with you.
Okay.
Everyone, it's Diane, the massage mentor, signing off. Thank you, Wanita, so much for joining us, and all her
Thank you.
information will be posted.
Bye.